How could you profess your love if you're really bad at buying presents? If you put something in the Amazon cart, she's going to see it right away and probably make you cancel the order. What would your father do? What would his father do? There's got to be a way. Sometimes the best way to say I love you is to get your ass in the kitchen. Now it's time to find the perfect food. Humans have been cultivating cabbage for over 5,000 years. It should come to no surprise that no other food has so much folklore and superstition associated with it. Ancient Chinese men thought cabbage would cure baldness. Irish girls could figure out if their future husbands would be sweet or bitter based on the bite of a cabbage leaf. Long before people started talking about storks, parents told children that babies came from cabbage patches. Even in present day, nearly all cultures around the globe associate cabbage with good luck and financial prosperity. Even though it was recently considered a poor man's food, cabbage has made a big-time comeback. Now has the moniker of a superfood. 1 cup of cabbage is only 15 calories, while packing in high quantities of fiber, iron, vitamin C, vitamin K, potassium, magnesium, thiamine, vitamin B6. Cabbage continues to be a slang term for money, most likely because people traded in cabbage before money was invented. George Herman Ruth wore a cabbage leaf under his hat for every ball game. He claimed it was to keep his head cool when he would swap out the leaves throughout the game, like he was really looking for a little bit of luck. Although it is difficult to prove that Babe Ruth's baseball prowess was a direct result of cabbage, it is impossible to disprove this theory, especially when you look at a side-by-side comparison of some of the players that played with him in that era. How to pick a nice cabbage. The leaves should not lose their will to fight and be loosey-goosey. Spot, wilt, and look damaged. It's time to let it go. Sniff test. Fresh cabbage should have a slightly sweet aroma. When bad, cabbage can emit a smell that mimics rotten meat. If the head of cabbage puts off a janky odor, then discard it. A fresh cabbage should feel heavier than it appears. When you pick it up, you should think, man, this is heavier than I thought it would be. The leaves should be wound tight. My favorite way to showcase cabbage is the cabbage roll. Your grandmother may have called it galabki. Her mother probably called it gołąbki. My great-grandmother Grast called them pigs in a blanket. I don't think she realized that Americans already gave that name to another food. It's time to cook. In a large pot, get your water to a raging boil. You don't want to fill the pot more than halfway or 2/3 high. Using a small paring knife or a chef's knife, you're going to core the cabbage. You should end up with a neat little cabbage arrowhead in the end. Gently place your cabbage in the water, core side up. Check your cabbage frequently. You're going to softly pluck out the leaves from the spine. If a leaf appears to be too stiff and has no flex, just drop it back into the water. If the leaf is fighting you, it's not ready to come off the cabbage yet. Be careful not to overcook your cabbage. Your goal is 12 to 16 leaves of cabbage. When it's time to remove the head, please turn it upside down to drain. A cabbage head can hold as much as 1 cup of scalding hot water. Statistically speaking, kitchen-related ER visits skyrocket during cabbage season. There are different techniques used to remove the spine of the cabbage, which is necessary for rolling. You can cut along the spine, or you can cut a V to remove the spine completely. Or a lot of times I use kitchen scissors. Make sure you save all your broken pieces or blemished pieces. You can use them later. Set all your rolling leaves aside. The interior nub that remains of the cabbage is still good to eat. Now it's time to talk about the filling. You're going to start with 2 large onions or 3 small to medium-sized onions. Also start mincing some garlic. If you have one of these slap chopper things around in your kitchen, they're pretty cool. Chop fresh parsley, stems and all. Now, before we talk about the rice, is keto coming for you? You can make this recipe the exact same way in a keto-friendly version by using riced cauliflower. Please understand that this riced cauliflower will emit a lot of liquid. Be sure to use a cheesecloth and try to wring out as much liquid as possible. I've heard all this extra liquid is from the tears of children. Do not mix scalding hot rice into your meat. If necessary, spread it on a sheet pan and let it cool in the refrigerator or freezer. Any kind of ground meat will do. I like the meatball combination of veal, pork, and beef. Start by throwing in your chopped onions and garlic. Add your rice and season with salt, pepper, and anything else you like garlic salt or crushed red pepper as you go. You're going to add 1 large egg. This is impossible to fully incorporate using a wooden spoon. You're going to end up using your hands. Remember to gently fold and mix the ingredients. You're not trying to annihilate or mush the meat. I didn't like the meat to rice ratio, so I went to the fridge to get a little bit of ground beef. Set your mix aside. Now it's time to start rolling. Use a measuring cup or an ice cream scooper to make sure that your rolls are consistent. As you can visually see, the V-cuts will lay flatter and are slightly easier to roll than if you just cut down the spine. Once you're done, you can look for some skimpy runts and go back to your remaining meat to try to fill them out to make them all the same size. Heat a skillet up, add olive oil, start building your flavor profile for your sauce by cooking down onions and garlic. Add a can of crushed or peeled tomatoes. I also like to add some tomato paste. Continue to cook down and taste as you go. If you need a little flavor boost, you can add a sklooch of bouillon. Chicken bouillon, beef bouillon, paste or powder, it doesn't matter. I've moved my rolls to a larger cooking vessel. I don't want them crammed in there. You're going to pour the sauce over top the rolls, and then you're going to start using all your leftover cabbage leaves to make a nice little blanket. You can also cook these in a crock pot if you want to. Cover with foil and put in the oven. Have your oven preset to 350 degrees. These will cook for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Now it's time to eat. Do not discard the loose cabbage leaves on top, they're delicious. Click the recipe link to find more information. I'm not really sure what you clicked.